Is the world a safer place for the 12-day war, as Donald Trump has called it? And does it matter in this new era of new threats if a war is legal or illegal? You notably haven't decided which this is.
Well, I think the most important thing has been to argue for de-escalation, which is the constant argument I've been making, and we got to a ceasefire in the early hours of this morning. That is a good thing. We need to keep that ceasefire in place, and on that platform, enable the negotiations towards the eradication of any nuclear capability of Iran. And that is the most important thing because in terms of conflict, that is the threat that everybody is concerned about. And therefore, I continue to urge for restraint, for de-escalation, and to maintain the ceasefire that came into being in the early hours of today.
The NATO commitment that you've signed up to, the one on hard kit and personnel alone, means something like £43 billion annual of extra spending. People might be scratching their heads and saying, well, what's the difference between that unfunded spending commitment on defence and the black hole, which you used to talk about all the time?
When we increase defence spending to 2.5% in 2027-28, that's the commitment I made earlier this year. That was the biggest sustained increase in defence spending since the Cold War. And I made a point of explaining exactly where the money was coming from. In that particular case, the overseas development aid budget. And now we will move on. We've always said an ambition for 3% in the next Parliament. The contribution that we are making today is 5% by 2035. With a review in 2029 as the component parts of that. And for the first time, we are looking at national resilience, which I've long argued should be included. So that's things like our cyber resilience, our cyber programs, our energy security, which has been weaponized in conflict, as you can see from the Ukrainian conflict, and our counter-terrorism. And so all of those components and resilience are already accounted for, and that means that by 2027-2028, we will already be able to account for 4.1% of the 5% that we are committing to today.